When you think of the Hulk, you envision a green giant consumed by rage. But who is this rage really targeted at? Dr. Bruce Banner, a brilliant physicist, becomes the Hulk, not by choice, but as a result of a gamma radiation experiment gone awry. This transformation is not just a physical one, it's a psychological one, a metamorphosis that brings forth an entity fueled by raw emotion and unbridled anger. The Hulk is not merely a character, he's an embodiment of rage, a symbol of the inner turmoil that can consume us when we lose control. He's a mirror, reflecting our own battles with anger, fear, and frustration. We can all relate to the Hulk because we've all felt, at one point or another, the intense energy of rage that seems to take over our being, that seems to transform us into something or someone else. But who is the Hulk's enemy? Is it the countless adversaries he's battered in the comics, on television, and in the movies? Is it the military that relentlessly pursues him, seeking to control his immense power? Or is it the villains that threaten the world he's sworn to protect? In truth, the Hulk's greatest enemy is not a physical foe, it's not a supervillain with world domination plans, nor is it a military force hell-bent on capturing him. The Hulk's biggest enemy is his own anger. It's the rage that consumes him, the fury that drives him, the wrath that defines him. This internal battle is the real struggle, the true conflict that the Hulk faces. His enemy is not external, but internal. It's not a person, but a part of himself. It's the anger that transforms him, the rage that empowers him, the fury that enslaves him. It's a battle not against a villain, but against his own nature. It's a struggle not for dominance, but for control. And so, as we move forward, we'll explore this internal battle, this struggle with self, this war within. We'll delve into the Hulk's psyche, investigate his motivations, and examine his actions. We'll explore the nature of his rage, the source of his anger, and the consequences of his fury. As we dive deeper, we'll see that Hulk's biggest enemy isn't a supervillain, but his own uncontrollable rage. A freak accident, a surge of gamma radiation, and thus, the Hulk was born. A tale as timeless as the Marvel Universe itself, the birth of the Hulk is steeped in tragedy, transformation, and torment. But how did it all begin? Our story starts with Bruce Banner, a brilliant, soft-spoken scientist with a passion for gamma radiation. His genius mind was devoted to harnessing this powerful energy for the benefit of mankind. But as we often see in the realm of superheroes, fate had other plans. During a routine experiment, an unexpected surge of gamma radiation flooded Banner's lab. In the blink of an eye, the mild-mannered scientist was subjected to an unimaginable dose of radiation. The impact was immediate and transformative. Bruce Banner was no more. In his place, a green behemoth with unparalleled strength and rage was born. The Hulk. The transformation was not just physical. The Hulk was a creature of pure emotion, a stark contrast to the rational and composed Banner. His power was directly proportional to his anger, and with no control over his emotions, the Hulk became a force of nature, a ticking time bomb of destruction. Bruce's life was forever changed. He was now trapped in a constant struggle, a battle within himself. Every time his anger flared, the Hulk would emerge, bringing chaos and destruction in his wake. A once celebrated scientist, Bruce was now a fugitive, hunted by those who saw the Hulk as a threat rather than the tragic result of a scientific experiment gone wrong. This internal conflict is the heart of the Hulk's story. Bruce yearns for a normal life, for control over the beast within him. But the Hulk is not just a part of him, he is him. The Hulk is Bruce's anger personified, his fear, his pain. Without Bruce, there is no Hulk, and without Hulk, is there truly a Bruce? Bruce Banner, a brilliant scientist, now trapped in a cycle of anger and destruction. His story serves as a potent reminder of the paradox of power. It can both save and destroy, often in the same breath. The Hulk's battles are legendary, but the most epic battles happen within. When we think of the Hulk, we often imagine the colossal green Goliath, smashing through buildings and battling the most formidable foes. But the greatest battles Hulk faces are not against external enemies, but rather, the internal conflicts that rage within him. Bruce Banner, the brilliant scientist behind the Hulk, is constantly at war with his alter ego. This internal struggle symbolizes the classic conflict of man versus self. The Hulk represents raw, uncontrolled power, while Banner embodies intellect and restraint. This tug-of-war between the mind and the body, between control and chaos, forms the essence of the Hulk's character. One of the Hulk's most significant internal battles is his struggle for control. Banner constantly fights to keep the beast at bay, to prevent the Hulk from taking over. He uses meditation, scientific methods, and even sheer willpower to suppress the Hulk. Yet the beast always lurks beneath the surface, ready to burst forth at the slightest provocation. Another noteworthy internal conflict is the Hulk's attempt to reconcile with his destructive nature. The Hulk is aware of the devastation he causes and the fear he instills in those around him. He grapples with feelings of guilt and alienation, adding another layer of complexity to his character. Then there's the existential battle. The Hulk, despite his monstrous appearance and destructive tendencies, yearns for acceptance and peace. He wants to be more than just a weapon or a beast. He wants to be seen as a hero, a protector. This internal desire to be perceived as more than just a monster further humanizes the Hulk and makes him a relatable and compelling character. In the end, the Hulk's greatest battles aren't fought in the city streets, but in the corridors of his own mind. The Hulk's internal struggles serve as reminders that our toughest battles are often those we wage within ourselves. They highlight the importance of self-control, self-acceptance, and the ongoing quest for inner peace. When the Hulk loses control, nothing can stand in his way. It's like a hurricane that sweeps across the landscape, leaving nothing but devastation in its wake. Hulk's rage is the stuff of legends, a primal force that has the power to shake the very foundations of the world. This rage is not just a physical display of power, but a manifestation of the inner turmoil that rages within the Hulk. It's a testament to the struggle he faces, a symbol of the war that wages within his soul. It's the beast inside him breaking free, a cataclysmic explosion of emotion that can't be contained. Imagine the mightiest earthquake, the most violent storm, the raging fires of 1,000 suns. Now multiply that by 100, 1,000, 1,000,000. That's the scope of the Hulk's fury. It's a force of nature that knows no bounds, a tsunami of raw, unbridled power that can level mountains, shatter cities, and change the course of rivers. But this rage doesn't come without a cost. Each time the Hulk loses control, he risks not only his own life but also the lives of those around him. Friends, allies, innocent bystanders, they all become potential victims in the face of his uncontrollable fury. The Hulk's rage is a double-edged sword, a weapon that can protect or destroy depending on how it's wielded. And yet, even in the midst of his most violent outbursts, there's a sense of tragic beauty to the Hulk's rage. It's a reminder of the humanity that still exists within him, a testament to his enduring spirit. It's the roar of a wounded animal, the cry of a soul in pain. The Hulk's rage is not just a force of destruction, but a symbol of his struggle. It's the manifestation of his inner conflict, a physical representation of the battle that rages within him. It's the beast inside him fighting to break free, a testament to his enduring spirit and his relentless determination to survive. As we've seen, the Hulk's rage can be as much a threat to himself and those he cares about as to his enemies. But it's also a testament to his strength, his resilience, and his unyielding spirit. It's a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the Hulk will never back down. He'll always fight, always resist, always unleash the rage. The ultimate battle for the Hulk isn't against aliens or supervillains, but against himself. The Hulk, this green Goliath, is known for his physical battles, his brute strength, and his indomitable rage. But the most epic, the most challenging, and the most enduring of his battles isn't one that takes place in the streets of New York or on some distant alien planet. No, this battle is internal, a struggle for control, a war waged within the confines of a single mind. It's a battle between the mild-mannered, brilliant scientist Bruce Banner and the raging beast that lurks within him, the Hulk. This is not your typical superhero narrative. It's a tale of duality, of man versus himself, a story that explores the depths of human emotion and the destructive power of unchecked rage. Bruce Banner is constantly fighting for control, struggling to keep the Hulk at bay to prevent him from causing havoc. This is his daily reality, a ceaseless struggle to maintain balance, to keep his rage under control, to not let the beast within him take over. But the Hulk is not just a manifestation of Banner's rage, he's also a symbol of his guilt, his fear, his innermost demons. The Hulk is everything that Banner fears he could become, a monster, a destroyer, a beast devoid of reason or restraint. And yet, he's also a part of him, a part of his identity, a part of his existence. It's a constant tug of war, a never-ending cycle of transformation, of chaos and calm, of man and monster. It's a battle that Banner fights every day, a battle that he knows he can never truly win, because the Hulk is not an enemy that can be defeated. He's a part of him, a reflection of his own rage, his own fear, his own guilt. In the end, it's clear that the Hulk's biggest enemy isn't a supervillain, but the rage that resides within him, a battle that rages on,